everything is accessed from the browser. And because everything is accessed from the browser, it's now become, again, as I was highlighted just a moment ago, the number one attack vector. So again, obviously there's mass trends out there that driving the browser becoming the OS. It certainly in many respects probably started with Google pushing out Chromebooks. And now everyone on the planet in the educational side perhaps has a Chromebook. I know my kids have it. And I know it's been very intentional also from Google itself to drive Chrome as that front leading in operating system and basically drive applications inside of there. And again, as I highlighted this last year, saw a significant elevation of using the browser for everything that we do, including obviously SaaS applications that we commonly access, whether it be Workday, whether it be Salesforce, et cetera, but also the personal apps. So clearly we expect this to continue to be more of the mainstay, not less of the mainstay. And in fact, in many respects, do you look at, is it the browser or do you look at the underlying Microsoft, Windows operating system as being the core tenet? So that's clearly one trend that we expect to continue. And the reason for that, I have freedom of access. I've been around the block too long where we always had this, I remember back in the Java days, it was write once, run anywhere. We all know that was a little bit different in practice, but the browser really has become that write once, access anywhere application force. Again, very strong experience that you have through the browser. And because of that, because it now is really the main operating system that we all interface with daily, it has become that number one attack vector. And I know, Eric, you actually have some further commentary here. You want to talk about what you're seeing in your space and in the use of the browser?
Sure, absolutely, Patrick. You hit it on the head, right? So however many years ago it was that Google decided to start working in the Chromebook world and kind of sending everybody onto machines and saying, you don't need software anymore. You're just going to run through browser, web apps, and things like that. That was the beginning of it. And what we've seen recently with, and we've always had Internet Explorer out there, which has run certain apps and it's had certain capabilities. But what we've seen is everybody has moved into kind of these different camps, into these different infrastructures, right? For a lot of business companies, you have Microsoft O365. For Google, you've got Google Apps in that whole environment. And we've all kind of moved there and we've said, okay, this is nice. We've got one place to go. But the browsers are what's really feeding that. And what I've noticed in my environment where it's a Microsoft environment, it's a business environment. And we've put things in place like multi-factor authentication, using conditional access. But what we've done is try to make it as easy for people as possible to access stuff. So I always have people say, well, I don't really want to use multi-factor authentication. Well, I'm like, okay, then use Microsoft Edge Chromium, because that kind of breaks through some of the multi-factor authentication. As long as you're in that environment, you don't need to have MFA because it's going through our Radius server and it's figuring out who you are. And there's a lot of things that it's already connected to. And all that's doing is opening us up for some of the most simple attacks against our users, right? It's keeping our people lazy. I hate to say that, but I'm making my people as lazy as possible because I want them to be productive. And so as they use the browser and they're using web apps and things like that, this whole experience for them is, man, don't make us do a whole lot more because I'm losing productivity. But when we do that, we're making it easier for the hackers to come in through the browser, which has become, the way we work. The browser is the way we work these days.